Picture this. Your students are performing with confidence, parents are chatting and building friendships, and everyone's talking about how amazing your studio is. That's the power of a well-run event. On this episode of Rock School Proprietor Podcast, Mandy and I are breaking down how to host memorable events that do more than just showcase your students. I'm sharing the key elements that make my Rock School concert stand out, and Mandy's revealing how she uses events to build genuine community among her families while strengthening her brand. Plus, we're giving you our best tricks for streamlining the whole process. We're talking minimum effort for maximum results. Let's get into it. Welcome to Rock School Proprietor Podcast. My name's John Kozicki.
And I'm Mandy York.
And we're going to talk about events today, Mandy. I know that you're celebrating your 10-year anniversary.
This year, yeah.
This year. Congrats. By the way, that's like, when I think about, I'm at 11 years with my studio, and 10 years just sort of flew by, and I was like, should I do something? It's just kind of more work. That's a huge accomplishment, by the way. 10 years in business, that's huge. So good for you.
Thanks. I know, you too. It's worth celebrating. You're right. It totally is more work to, create events and celebrate, but totally worth it. Celebrate yourself.
Right. But you have a lot, I know you've already done one, at least one, maybe two.
One.
But so you've got a series of events that you're hosting to celebrate your 10 year this year? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, that's how we decided to do it. After some brainstorming. So we hold, I'm a big fan of events. So I do events, throughout the year. Every year we do a outdoor concert at the amphitheater in our local park. That's our big thing every year. And it's a free concert to the whole community. I do early childhood music. So this is parents and kids, and we sing and play every week. Our concert
and let me ask you a question. Is that sort of in lieu of performances with students? You do events because I can see where you're with the toddlers.
Yes, we're not a performance.
You don't really put them on stage.
Studio. Yeah. We're just playing with music. We're just learning music. So there is no performance for the kids. What I do is I give a concert, right? So our teachers get up on stage. We get live music. In a class, we're not accompanied. Sometimes I'll play ukulele, but we're singing a cappella and playing percussion instruments. For the big summer concert, we get live music. I've got a guitar player, and we've got all our teachers singing the songs. And then out in the amphitheater, the kids are bouncing and playing in the grass and dancing and singing with us. That's our big thing we do every year. So we tried to think how we could make 10 years a little bit bigger, and decided to do a series of 4 events. And I think, there's a lot of reasons to do events for your studio. Brand recognition, just getting your name out in the community, right?
Yes. Yep.
For people to see you. Community engagement, fundraising, for the greater good. We've done stuff like that before. And then what you and I talk about is community building, right? So this is just another way to strengthen your studio community.
Right.
So something different I did this year. Our first event, we're doing a series of 4, one every month this summer, June, July, August, September. I did a grown-ups only event. So a parent event.
Yep.
Yeah, you were there. So, and we had not done this before, but in my case, we've got toddlers. We've got the little ones in class with us. And we're in our community every week, right? Each class is its own tiny little community. Similar to what you might have in your rock bands, right? Those are little communities. And sometimes caregivers, they want a little more time to actually talk to each other instead of chasing the toddlers around before and after class, right?
Yeah. That is super insightful.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it's just, that's something we've just heard. We're listening, right? So we did that this time. Leave the kids at home and come hang out with your favorite, music making parents. That was cool. We did that in June. In July, I'm collaborating. This is also a cool way to like host events in your community. We have a really great. Go ahead.
Before you go into that one,
Oh yeah.
can we talk just briefly about the your parents only event? Like,
Sure.
so it was at the local brewery,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
So gave parents the opportunity. Again, you were listening. You're listening to the parents saying, "Well, how can we just want to get together?" And you had told me this out of our this conversation. You've had parents come to you and say, "Can we just come hang out in your studio without our
Yeah.
kids?"
Right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
happened.
Right, because they just want to get together, right? Because
Mhm.
and I think this is probably universal across the board, not just in your studio, but with most of most music lesson studios, most kids' activities. Parents are putting their attention on their kids. We gotta cart the kids to music lessons. I mean, in my house, we gotta cart my daughter to her cheer gym and whatever else. And yes, parents get to talk a little bit here and there, but building that more meaningful relationship and talking a little bit more and having a deeper connection, if you can facilitate that, I think that's incredibly helpful to your studio and to the community that you're building.
Yeah, it adds
So
a lot of value to what you're doing.
yeah,
Mhm.
and so you did it at our local brewery,
Mhm.
and can we tell the story about one of the dads?
The dads. Oh gosh,
Yeah,
yes.
because
I
okay,
almost
so
forgot.
the way that I understood it, because I
Mhm.
was I was told this story, I wasn't present for it, but the dad, I understand, does not come to your classes,
No, he
right?
does.
Oh, he does?
Oh, yeah, mom and dad both come to my class. Yep, they're a
Okay.
Saturday morning family. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the story that I heard was the dad casually, right, outside of your studio in the local brewery after a couple beers,
Yeah.
says to you, "So, like, what's your story? Are you, like, in a punk band or something?"
Yes. It was so funny because, you're kind of this persona, right? You're the music
Yeah.
teacher and you're
Well, I'm
sing-songing.
that persona. I know
Yeah.
I don't know. You're that
Well,
surprises me that you're that persona. That's
no.
cool.
My persona is like the music teacher singing little kitty songs, right? And he was
Yeah.
just kind of like, but what does she really do outside of this class?
Right.
And imagined maybe I was in a punk band. It was
Yeah.
great. It was so great. Yeah,
Cool.
these are we're like-minded people. Like they're placing importance on music for their kids, right? They're
Mhm.
in similar stages of life. I I mean, I always say these are cool people. These are the kind of people I like to hang out with, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
giving them the opportunity, they click. It's really positive experience there.
Yeah, and I think it's great that they're also making that deeper connection with you on a
Mhm.
personal level. People like that,
Yeah.
People like that builds trust, it builds, like, the community that we're always talking about. Okay, so that was first event. Now
Yep.
what's coming up?
Next month is my collaboration, which I highly recommend. If you've got a business that caters to the same demographic that you do, find a way to collaborate. We have a really great nonprofit cinema in town. Little
Mhm.
one room nonprofit cinema. So they rely on sponsorships from individuals and businesses to play to play their movies, right?
Okay.
I do their kids movies every summer, right? We're doing like a series of Disney movies. Fits my demographic and I'm, supporting this really cool local organization. And what I'm doing is I'm holding like a sing along, kind of like Miss Mandy will be there prior
Ah, okay.
to the Frozen showing. So they're doing
Okay.
like 4 different movies over the course of the summer, but I'm going to be at the Frozen show and I'll have something for everybody at the show. A plastic tiara or a shaker or something, I've always got
Yeah, yeah.
plenty of those kind of things to hand out and have fun with. Before the movie starts, we'll show on the screen like a sing along for Let It Go, and then
Mhm.
they'll enjoy the show. Maybe we'll have extra balloons in the space, making it feel more like an event. We'll probably do a photo booth. Photo booths are always
Yeah.
so easy, right? You throw up a backdrop and it makes it more fun. And then, marketing here, people post those and
Right.
tag you in social media.
Yeah.
So makes it fun.
That's cool because I've sponsored films at the cinema also.
Yeah.
And when you mentioned that you were going to sponsor Frozen at the cinema this summer, I immediately thought like, okay, well, Mandy, where are you going with this? Because I've sponsored shows there too. How is that an event? That seems more like a sponsorship. That's what I've done, right? I haven't really made it a thing, but I love that you're making it interactive and something bigger than just you're sponsoring Frozen because it's a good fit.
Yes. And it's easy, right? Yeah. I'm not going to any of the other movies. I'm just sponsoring those. But I've said, okay, this one, I'm going to be there. I'll make an appearance. We'll make it a little special. I'll see a lot of my families there. And but there's going to be plenty of kids there too that aren't part of our studio. But maybe they've heard of us. Oh, this is music time. This is Miss Mandy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be tagging along with their friends. So easy. This is a low cost. Don't tell anybody, but I probably won't stay for the movie. I'll just do you know what I mean? I'll do my thing and then I'll get out of there. It's fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay. So that's 2. What do you got?
Yep.
4, you said?
4. The next one is our concert. So this is what we do every year. And we get a really good crowd out for this. To make it bigger this year, we're just adding, because I do keep it pretty simple. We have the concert. I always raffle something off too. It's another thing about events. This is where you can really build your email marketing list, right?
Yeah.
So like at the concert specifically, we'll, under one of our little tents, I'll probably do multiple giveaways this year. Maybe a bongo, a gift certificate, just related giveaways. Everyone has to fill out the little paper form, drop it in the basket.
Yeah.
And between sets, we'll pull a name and give out the prize.
Okay.
But then you've got all those emails to add to your marketing list.
Yep.
And that's what we usually do. To make it bigger, we're going to get a face painter and balloon artist, and we're going to set up a couple tables with crafts. I always have make your own shaker or rhythms, color your own rhythm sticks kind of a thing.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yep.
So with the raffle, have you considered, or are you still doing the paper slip, or have you considered like a kind of a higher tech way to do that would integrate those emails directly into your list?
I don't have a higher tech way. I have multiple mini clipboards and pens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how I do it.
You're still getting them.
Yeah. I think at a smaller event, it depends on the event, that we could do it with the iPad.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking? That's having people put their name on the iPad.
I've done similar, and getting those handwritten emails, I know sometimes on the back end there are some issues like, oh no, what is that letter?
Yeah, for sure.
And the potential there for just human error.
Yes.
But
it always surprises me, actually. Wow, some people, I cannot read their handwriting. If that happens, we'll put it in and I'll save it. I'll save the slip. When the first emails go out, whatever bounces back, I'll go back to the slip and be, okay, it wasn't that. Let's try L. Maybe it was an L, not an E.
Yeah. Right.
It happens.
Okay, so you've got the adults only, you've got the movie sing-along, you've got your concert in the park. All right, number 4. What's number 4 this summer?
Lastly, and we're doing this at the beginning of September, post-Labor Day, we're having a reunion. So...
Oh, fun.
Yeah. I'm excited about this. It was the year before COVID. I did my first potluck, and I haven't done one since. And it was pretty chill. We at the local park, the smaller park, I threw out a sign up genius. Families said, I'll bring fruit, I'll bring veggies, whatever. I grilled hot dogs. So I had hot dogs for everybody. And then everyone else brought the rest of the food. I did paper supplies. So pretty simple on my end. And we played at the park. Everybody got together. COVID happened. I haven't brought it back since. But I thought this would be a good opportunity. And we're doing it at the larger park. We're going to Kensington this year, the big park. So I rented a larger pavilion. It's right next to their small play structure.
Okay.
And we'll do the same thing, but I'm trying to throw this out to my entire list, and say, hey, alumni, everybody, come out. This is a cool hang, right? And I'll bring outdoor games and bubbles. I always bring bubbles. That's a good one. Stuff like that. Really, it's not, I don't know. I think of myself as like kind of pretty simple when I'm planning these events.
They all do seem pretty simple.
Yeah, I don't spend a ton of money. I like to say like minimum effort, maximum effect. Like, and people have a good time. Like I said, we've got good families at the studio. They just want to come, hang out, have a free hot dog, and play. Like the kids just want to play, see their friends.
So with this reunion event, you have the potential. I mean, being that you are celebrating 10 years, there's potential for you to have maybe like some 14-year-olds show up.
Yes.
Maybe.
I know. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
Or they might be too cool to show up.
Or they'll just I'm just going to stop by. I'll just stop by and say hi.
Yeah.
And then pass on. But yeah.
Cool. Okay. So those are all fantastic. And that actually gives me a lot of ideas for things that I can do in my studio. Because when I think of events, I'm almost exclusively thinking about our concerts that we do.
Yeah.
And we have those on fairly regular intervals. We do about 3 big concerts per year. And I do them at a local venue. In my mind, what makes for an excellent event for our concerts is I'm always trying to think as far away from the traditional piano recital as possible.
Yeah.
And being that I run a rock school, my goal has always been to provide that experience, that concert experience for the students and for the families. And I'll never forget this goes back pretty far, but I had overheard like a week after one of our big concerts, I'd overheard one of the newer parents talking on her cell phone with someone else about the concert. And obviously I'm only hearing one side of the conversation, right? But the gist of the conversation I was getting was the mom in the studio was saying like, well, no, it's not really a recital. And, then a pause, awkward kind of like, well, no, it's not like that. And then at one point she's like, no, it was a gig. He did a gig. And she's talking about her 8-year-old. And because what we do is we take them to the local venue. And in my mind, if we can provide an amazing stage with lights and sound, well, number one, that blows away the kids, right? They're like, if it's their first time, they're like, whoa, this isn't like the rehearsal room. This isn't like the stage in the auditorium at school or whatever else. This is a legit concert stage. So number one, provides that experience for the kids. On the flip side, for the audience, the parents, they're thinking the same thing. Like, oh my gosh, there's stage and lights and fog machines and like amazing sound. This is just like a concert, not like the talent show I went to at the kids' school or the piano recital we did in the church for my other kid or whatever. So number one, lean into that stuff. I also am a big fan, and you kind of alluded to this with your events, food and drink, right?
Mhm.
Having food and drink available is huge because then people are able to bond naturally over, like we always do that
Yes.
regularly, right?
Mhm.
We always bond over a meal. We always like bond over shared drinks. It's it's just community building, right? So I think that's a huge thing that I always look forward to. I mean, honestly, those are the two big ones, right?
Mhm.
But then as these have evolved over the years, I've learned that we also have to kind of streamline what we do on our end when we're running the program. Try and have a smooth way for students to get on and off stage. Try and make sure staff understands the flow of the program. Try and get the parents to understand how we have the program planned out. I also I like that the venue takes care of things like sound. They handle the seating chart. We just give them our RSVP list. Obviously, they're handling food and drink. So the really heavy lifting, the venue's taking care of. We're just sort of directing traffic with getting the kids on and off stage and keeping things flowing.
Mhm.
So to me, that's what's kind of made great events. And we also do posters and buttons for each show. So it's a unique experience. The kids then collect the different posters and buttons. So those are the big ones that we do.
Yeah. And
When
I
we
mean, I've
Yeah,
been to
sorry,
a
go ahead.
lot of I've been to a lot of your concerts, and they're so fantastic. Just like you said, but I want to point out that they do feel very social. We're sitting at
Okay.
tables. We're sitting at tables. We're not in rows,
Yes.
right? It's loud. So there's some talking, but when your kid is on stage, you're in the front row and you're videoing. And then you
Yes.
back up for the next band and the next family can come up and get a front row seat for their kids. And it's
Yeah.
I and it's very consistent, like you said, talking about when you were talking about getting everyone on board and all those logistics of on and off. You're so consistent. After one concert, two concerts, we know what to expect and how it goes. So
Mhm.
you've done a
Well,
really good
yeah,
job
and
of
you mentioned
combining the recital, quote unquote, with an
yeah.
event. It's great.
Yeah. And you mentioned the front row. The parents get to sit in the front row.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was an addition we added when the concert started getting too big and parents tried to congregate in front of the stage when their child was on the stage performing, and then they'd go back to their tables. But we thought like, well, let's just put a table right in front. That's, like the VIP table.
Mm.
So we're able to rotate that. So when parents have kids on stage, they do have that front row seat. And it's just sort of expected, right? Because one of the things that I wanted to shy away from with these concerts and with these events was when I remember piano recitals that I did as a kid. I remember going to piano recitals, and it felt more like an obligation rather than something to like get excited about. But I do know that there's still like that little bit of like, well, I want to make sure I see my kid. It's cool seeing the other kids having fun, but I definitely want to make sure I'm seeing my kid. I'm getting good photos and getting good pictures. So that's why we created the VIP table. And that allows us to also have that rotation of parents not feeling obligated to necessarily, I hate to say it, like not feeling obligated to stay. Usually the parents stay, but if they do need to leave, if they've got to get the other kid to a baseball tournament, right? They can sort of sneak out and it's not going to be a distraction whatsoever or make the room feel empty, because the front row is always full,
Mhm.
always.
Yeah, it's a smart thing.
So those are our big concerts. Now in the summer, we will regularly do community performances as well. The big one and the most consistent is we're always invited to our town's big summer festival. So we do that. We try and do other performances when we can. honestly, I've had to turn quite a few of those down as of late because we've just been getting more and more requests for them. So you were talking earlier about brand recognition and getting out there in the community. And in my situation, I think what has happened is that, yeah, the community knows that we'll bring kids to perform a rock show, at a festival or some type of event. But we can't do all of them.
Yeah.
They are still kids. It's not like they're a regular working cover band and at the drop of the hat, they can say like, sure, I can do this gig. So we have had to turn some of them down. And I also don't want to burn out my staff with
Yeah.
like, all right, we've got concert performances every weekend this summer. So, and those outdoor ones are, with weather, you kind of don't know. It could be hit or miss. But with all of them, it's like you said, it's an opportunity to get your brand out there. If you leverage the social media aspects, like you were saying, make sure parents are able to get photos and share those photos on social media. You can bring a photographer. You can take your own videos. Lots of opportunities for extra content there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what else? Are we missing anything? Any other points to highlight when it comes to great events?
Yeah, I mean, that was really good coverage. Like I said, I do some other small things too. I guess I don't, the booth, right, at the festival where it's not, we kind of call those events where you'll set up a table. Do you ever do stuff like that?
I used to.
Yeah.
Not so much
Not so
anymore.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I don't do as much as I used to either. Like, again, we've talked about this before. You said yes every time early on, and now
Right.
sometimes, and when you think it's gonna be worthwhile. So, I like to do, I guess it's similar to your kids like doing festival, like small concerts in the community. I'll get schools or libraries or something to ask me out and do something. Same
Yeah.
idea. Yep.
Yeah, I'll highlight one more thing, the collaboration. The
Yeah.
collaboration is huge. I think
Mhm.
because of what we do, there's tons of opportunities for other local businesses that want to collaborate with us and want us to do something that's going to elevate both brands, both ours and theirs. We've collaborated with the local brewery also on performances, so that's always been a home run. But I will say, as I've done more and more events like this, and for me, again, they're performances with the kids, the things that I've had to think about to determine whether, yes or no, I should be doing this or should not be doing this, is really related to how much work and how much time is it going to take, right? Because as much as I love to do these events, oftentimes it's either it could be a full day of my time, full day of my staff time, and that stuff always adds up. We get a lot of requests from local schools to bring kids to perform at, end of the year school fairs.
Mhm.
Those more recently, I've had to turn them all down. Not because I don't think it's a good fit. I do think it would be a good fit, but oftentimes the school fairs just aren't set up for what we need, right? Like we need a PA system. We need a full drum set and amps. And I need to make sure I have staff there who knows how to run all that stuff and set that stuff up and then tear it down and make sure the kids are taken care of and put in the right place and the parents are clear on what's going on. And I think oftentimes when people the school events, for instance, those are PTA families that are putting those together. They don't understand what's involved in
Oh, yeah.
this kind of performance. And I don't want to go halfway with it. It's like they see what we do with the performances. I want to make sure that I'm consistent with that. And if I can't make it consistent, then it's probably better to just not do it.
Mhm. Yep,
So,
I agree. Yeah. And yeah, I like what you said about deciding is it worth it, and what am I able to do? Think about you, how much time this is going to take you, right? What you're going to get out
Mhm.
of it. Like I've got a 30 to 45-minute program in my back pocket that I can
Yeah.
use anytime, right?
Mhm.
So if that's what they're asking, cool. I think it's worth getting creative and thinking like thinking critically about the business that you're teaming up with or collaborating with, right?
Yeah.
What's around? Do you have a bookstore in town? Like, story or story time and music. Some coffee shops have like kid things where they invite the
Mhm.
kids in.
Mhm.
Arts organizations, go in. Maybe you do more like a instrument petting zoo that's only going to take one person,
Mhm.
and you can show them things like that. So again, you want it to represent you. You don't want just one person going with a guitar, and I
Right.
don't know, you gotta make sure, like, it's representing you and that it's a cool
Exactly.
program, but
Yeah.
maybe get creative on what you're presenting. If you can make
Sure.
it a little bit easier and use less staff,
Yep.
there you go.
Other ideas, just kind of spitballing here as we bring it home, but other ideas to like start to offset costs when these events get big. Sponsorships, right? Local businesses maybe want to sponsor, maybe want to donate something that you could raffle off as like a prize or something like that. So there's again, get creative. There's all sorts of ways that you can again contribute to that like interactive experience, that fun environment, and potentially generate a little income. Like while I haven't done this for our concerts, I know of some other schools that will do like concert T-shirts,
Mm,
right, for each show, and that could be a nice little bump. So lots of ways to get creative, but I think events are huge. People love them.
mhm,
They definitely set you apart from, the other music schools that will do the traditional recital, and that's about it.
mhm.
So I'm all for it.
Me too, I
Props
love
to
it.
you, Mandy. You've got
Thanks,
great ideas for that stuff.
thanks. Cool.
All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up and we'll see you next time.
Sounds good. Bye, John.
See ya. If you have topic suggestions or questions, please contact us at info@rockschoolproprietor.com. We'd love to hear from you and consider suggestions for the show. We've put together some free resources for teachers and studio owners over at rockschoolproprietor.com, and we've got a private Facebook group, Performance-Based Music Programs and Rock Schools. Please join us over there. On social, I'm at rock.school.proprietor on Instagram and John Kazicki on both LinkedIn and Blue Sky. Your ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify are always appreciated. If you enjoyed the show and gained insight from our conversation, then we count that as a win. All we ask in return is that you pay it forward, and please share the show with someone you think needs to hear it.